Good morning. It's November the 13th, 2015. Time to get after the markets one more time this week. Starting out this morning, we do have news that could impact the trading. PPI plus 0.2. Not really the market's focus, but will be a factor. Core plus 0.1. Big numbers retail sales plus 0.3. X-Auto plus 0.4. Business inventories, no one will pay any attention to it. Unchanged. Consumer sentiment, 92. Natural gas inventories plus 51B. The focus is retail sales X-Auto. Now, yesterday, Yellen did not specifically address a interest rate increase in December, but 5 of the Fed governors were talking it up. Now, the Fed floats trial balloons, and they're seeing what the market's going to do, and the market sold. So, if retail sales X-Autos comes in at 0.4% or higher, that scenario will be reinforced. News focus, retail sales X-Auto, PPI, then consumer sentiment at 92, and overall the direction of the E-mini. Now, treasuries have been slammed, and if the Fed raises interest rates, they'll probably go a little bit lower too. But the E-mini's got a ways to go. So I think if the E-mini does continue to sell this morning, then it'll bring support into the market. If we go back and look at that breaker spill last week off the non-farm payrolls number, 2635 is resistance. That's the double print, and you have to have observed this many times. I can't see it right here, but 13.5 is a number that could stop the market. It's also a little dent in the volume. So the first sell is going to be 13 to 17, and then 19 to 23. I don't think the market can break out and run today unless the E-mini really catches some really heavy selling. Support starts at 4, so 1 to 4. 1 to 5 will be buy 1. 25, 29, buy 2. We were supposed to get a frost last night, and it did not happen, so I still have plants to water, albeit not as frequently as I was doing it a couple of months ago. Okay, this low right here is at 22.5322. It's pretty stout resistance, and that spill off the news came from 54.06. So these are two numbers, two levels that we need to pay attention to. And then we got this double print up here at 53.07. And I have to redo this. For some reason the data is not sticking. So I like the upside today of the market. I think we got a shot to retest the 8 to 12 areas. So failure to take out 8 to 12. Sell 1. Sell 2 will be 21 to 25. On the buy side, go 1. I think we go a little bit lower, so I'll put it 25, 29, buy 1. Stops below the buck, and we break that. I think we probably take out the overnight session low, and a lot of that would be So 13 to 17 by 2. So down to the news. News focus is the same. If those retail sales numbers come in higher than forecast, and if inflation comes in higher than forecast, fundamentally this market should sell. But that could be countered by the E-mini selling even faster than treasuries are. Gold was up a little bit when I looked early this morning. And even if you only trade the E-minis, what's important is to follow the relationships, the intermarket relationships between these different commodities and futures contracts. If everything is lined up, it makes for a more consistent trade. Okay, we rejected prices below 80. Yesterday we rejected prices below 76, so this 80 is pretty good support. 79.81 by 1. I do think we're headed for stops below 72.50. Got close yesterday, but anyway, a retest of 75 is in the card before this market can really turn up. Radio is starting to advertise Canadian 1/10 of an ounce gold bullion bars encased in plastic with English, Spanish, Chinese, other languages written on it to tell whoever might be taking that in exchange for something that it is a legitimate 99.9% pure gold bullion. Okay, 85, 87, maybe 87 to 90, sell 1. Assumption we can get through that, then 93, 95. I don't think we break out of the range based on today, but Fed raising interest rates shows the economy is strong enough to raise interest rates. No need to own gold. Good times are just around the corner. Sell gold. I think the biggest argument is deflation. And if you look at the price of copper, crude oil, other commodities, deflation is the argument. It's even hit the agricultural sector. And first time in a long time, farm prices are suffering, which will not help Caterpillar's sales either. It's been one strong the strongest sector of the economy for heavy equipment sales, although not as heavy equipment as you get in mining. Okay, we talked about 108 even, 108.25 being pretty good resistance, better resistance than 108.25 area, and that's where we find ourselves right now. So 108 even, sell 1, sell 2.25. On the buy side, 107.50. And we'll adjust these after the news. The news will impact these. These numbers come in higher than forecast. This contract should sell. We like the sell side better. China did nothing with the yuan overnight that I could see. And the European Central Bank wants the euro lower. Okay, the United States is now flying B-52s past China's islands. You talk about red meat for Chinese fighters. Would certainly be the B-52. Not that hard to visually acquire when you're flying, and pretty easy to bring down with a missile. So crude oil, I do believe stops below 40 is the next stop, but we've got pretty stout resistance at 42.50. So we're going to make 42.25.50, sell 1. 75 to 43, sell 2. Beneath us, 41 and a quarter, buy 1. Then 40.50, 75, buy 2. Supposedly the ISIS John was targeted last night and may have been killed in a U.S. Bomb. By a U.S. bomb. They didn't say that it was. Didn't see if it was drones or aircraft, but it'd be nice to see that little guy, that brave freedom fighter, get nailed to the cross, so to speak. Infidel as I am. These guys, I mean, no mercy given, no quarter asked. No mercy given, no quarter asked from us is an appropriate response, in my most humble opinion. Okay, this 32 area right here, really good support, and 28. So I've got first buy, area support down here will be buy one, will be 28 to 31. Then we're going to make it 20 to 25. I think we're headed lower. I think the 5 Fed governors yesterday all rhetorically said the Fed is going to raise interest rates come December. It's a very high probability, and they're just testing the market's reaction, and the market's sold. So one way the Fed could do this is they could drive the market down into the actual rate increase if it happens, and then the market could rally back from that because, oh yeah, this was built in. Again, you just I don't see any way in hell how the Fed can raise interest rates based on what's going on in the economy. I mean, what's really going on, not what's being reported by our government. And China and Japan and the European Union will all ask them not to raise rates when it comes time to do it in December. And when the tipping point will be, well, what is Leo Goldfein, the head of Goldman, say a couple of days before the last meeting? He came out and said, don't raise interest rates. So, like it or not, Goldman has more. Their vote's always N+1. And so right here, 40. You can see the last rotate up was 43, and we got a high at 46. So 40-45 will be sell 1. Then 50-55, and we'll adjust these. They're a little wide right now after things get going because we do have that retail sales news coming up in 26 minutes, and that'll potentially can really move the markets. So if it comes in higher than forecast, and these are pretty healthy numbers if you think about it, plus 0.4%, 12 times a year, that's 5% growth. If that is the case, the Fed's rhetoric on raising interest rates should increase. Back with you on the news. It's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. Going to get that done. See you in a bit.